we're standing here with the Chrome Mollys Jammer Chucky. Chucky, that was your first game. That was your first experience with roller derby in the actual flesh, and you jammed your heart out. I'm just going to give it to you and I'll let you say anything you want about what just happened.
Honestly, I thought I was gonna have more fun at this game, but turns out when I play derby, I guess I'm really focused. And even when the score was pretty widespread at halftime, I was still like, we gotta stay focused, we gotta stay focused. And I got lucky jamming. I mean, lucky in the sense that the other jammer was frequently in the box when I was jamming, and my blockers were amazing. They had the total pack control, and without awesome blockers, the jammer can't really do anything. So it was a whole team effort, and it was an amazing experience.
Kirk, the coach of the Chrome Mollys, the Marquita Slammer in his own right. Kirk, that was quite the margin. How do you explain that?
I don't know, man. Those ladies just played together tough. I got to give them all the credit. They did their job out there. They've listened to instruction well. They've trained hard to get here today, and I think that they clicked tonight. They were on. I got to give them all the credit. It's their job. They did it.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, that was just like watching a seasoned veteran squad out there against, a team that was just not ready to play the way they were obviously trained to play. I mean, how often? I mean, you guys play and train twice a week,
yes,
right? For about 3 hours each.
That's right.
Each shot. I mean, how long have most of these girls been skating?
Most of the girls in this team have been skating less than 6 months. So it is actually incredible how quickly they have developed and learned to play this sport. I'm flabbergasted myself in terms of how good they've been and how hard they've worked. You know what? It's their prize. They deserve it, man.
Like you mentioned, there was a lot of power jams tonight. How did you keep the energy to keep taking advantage of those power jams like you needed to make the score 190 to 49?
Yeah, honestly, at practice, I'm huffing and puffing, but it was just sheer adrenaline. I am serious, sheer adrenaline.
Power jams are right now, there's a sort of a standard thinking of how to deal with power jams. There's some subtleties to that, but the bottom line is most people have seen it, and the tactic is the GOAT or whatever they want to call it, but basically you trap the opponent's one player, you form the pack in that scenario where it's your 4 players plus one of their blockers now make the pack, and you slow it right down so your jammer can make multiple passes and collect 5 points each pass. So that's the quickest way to rack up points. Those are key jams. If you don't capitalize on them when you have them, you will lose games, because that's when you win or lose. When a team does it to you or when you do it to them, that's how you win and lose games. Because a lot of these games are 4-3, 4-2, 2-4, back and forth, and the score doesn't really get wide. So you end up with a game like the first game, 134, 133. And then when you get a power jam situation and the team capitalizes like we were able to tonight, you can rack it up. Now, the number of power jams, I got to give our blockers credit. They forced their jammer out of bounds a lot, and I'm not sure how much training they have with being out of bounds for the other team, but the jammers seem to think that once they were out, they just proceeded, and they got caught a lot, because most of those penalties for the jammers they got were out of bounds passes. And so our girls blocked them out, sat back and waited for them to step in front, and they took the bait, I guess. I don't know why, but they'll learn. It's a learning experience. They'll learn from this.
Your blockers tonight just were unbelievable. Who is your main blocker that was out there when you were out there?
When I was jamming, honestly, my blockers are just a white blur. I just see the jersey, so I don't really notice. But when I'm blocking, because I really enjoy that too, I like being with Tootsie and Brickhouse and Gypsy. They're my line mates, and I felt really comfortable out there with them.
It's about getting out there and playing. That's the thing. Our league philosophy has been that since day one. Last year, we played 11 different games as a single team as a Debs, and it was just because, without playing, without getting your ass handed to you sometimes, you're not learning anything. You need to get beat up, you need to beat people, and you need to just get out there and do it.
Now, that's kind of going to be my next question. Because the Mollys have the Debs to play with at every practice and get better with, are you worried about that they're going to be getting too good too fast, and then they're going to be unprepared going in against a really tough team in the future?
Well, getting too good too fast is nothing I'm going to ever complain about, but they have to keep their expectations in check. This is one game against a very fresh team, and I think it showed out there, and we can take a lot of confidence from that, but we got to temper that with the concept that, in derby, there is no parity here. You could play somebody today, beat them like that, and next week get beat the same way yourself against almost anybody. So you know what? That means nothing tonight other than congratulations for them tonight, but next time, next team, be prepared, take them on. It's a fresh day, and they got to face the team they face next with that attitude.
I think we just have to keep doing what we were doing tonight and just keep focused. I think it's just because the score was a little bit widespread or whatever, it doesn't mean that we're the awesomest team. We're not. We're a fresh meat. This is our first game, so we just have to keep focused and play our game and control the pack.
Absolutely, and that is exactly what I saw tonight out there.